Hi everyone, so this is exactly what I thought on the last video. If you have not watched it, please go ahead and watch it. So now this is what we will be learning in today's video. If I play this and it just rotates and pushes all the balls and all the balls reacts to the physics. Not only this much, so we will learn most of the things that we can do, most of the creative ways that we can do in Moho using physics. So I just had to remind you that most people who's watching my videos are not subscribed, and also please like my videos because I just have so many of these videos. I have little views, so if you like them it will help to boost it so that I can keep on making more videos. So very first thing, I'm going to create a circle while my mouse is right here on the center. Now hold on Alt Shift, create a bigger circle. It's up to you. Now again create a circle exactly on top of it. Now the thickness is up to you. So decide the thickness that you want, and with the select shape tool select the front one and press subtract and press merge to merge all of these. Now all of these points should be movable separately like this. So now we need to create some balls to put inside. So create a new vector layer. Now create some circle that you want like this. I'm going to make it tiny like this. Now we just have to duplicate this. So here's the duplicate button, but I highly recommend do like this. Select this and keep on pressing the duplicate button until you get at least this much of copies. Now select this one, okay, and then just move it to any place that you want. Select the other one, move it, select this, move it, select this, move it, select this, move it. So we are just distributing them, but if you want you can keep them in the same place, but I would like to just move them without they touch each other, because I notice most of the time when they are touching each other, or that means when they are overlapping on top of each other, it just doesn't work most of the time. So that's why I'm doing this, and this is the last one. Oh, that's the circle. Okay, now let's enable physics. In order to enable physics, you have to make sure all of these layers are into one group. So group with selection. Now double click the main group and go to physics tab and enable physics and apply OK. Now one more thing, if you press spacebar, everything is going to fall down. It's falling. So we don't want everything to fall down. I want this circle to stay without moving. So double click on that bigger circle, go to physics and enable non-moving object. Also one more thing, I will be talking about all these settings in today's video. Once you're done, press OK. Now it's going to work like this. Very interesting. Alright, see how the circles are very quick falling down? It's not that impressive. That means it is impressive, yeah, but we don't have enough time to look how it slowly falls, and to appreciate that we need a little bit of slow falling down. So double click on that main group and go to physics, and this is the gravity's direction. You can put it any direction like this. Now if you press spacebar it's not going to work, so press apply, then no need to close this window, just press space and it get attached to that side because gravity is on that direction. So let's put this to 270. Okay, 270. Now the magnitude, the more this is lower, the more the gravity's strength is low. We cannot say strength, we can say like the speed of the gravity, you can reduce it. So now when you press apply and play, notice how it's just so slow, the strength so slow, but this is too low. So let's put it to at least 5 and then see how it goes. Maybe I can make it a bit more slower. How about 3 and then press apply? Yeah, I like this because it's so noticeable. It's so nice if it's noticeable, so I'll put it to like 3. And another interesting that you can do with this is this circle. You can double click and you can go to physics and disable non-moving object because we need to move it. And now pivot on origin, just enable this. Now it's just going to react to these balls, and it is pivot on origin means, see, this is the origin point. So it is just going to get rotated a little bit according to the gravity, also according to the weight of these balls. So now when I play, see, if I play now it didn't work because every time when you apply something you have to go to 0 to see the change, full change. And now just press OK. Also one more thing that I'm noticing is that I have done that change while I'm on this frame 53. That's bad, so let's just delete those, okay, entirely, and I will make sure that I do that setting. Okay, it's enabled on frame 0 as well. So once you have confirmed it, press OK. Now just press play. Yeah, now it's not obvious at all, but the circle moves. See, you can't really see it. Therefore, I'm just going to add some gradient to this circle so you can clearly see it. So let's select it. I think I will give that point color. So while that is selected, while a point is selected, let's change this to a completely different color. Yeah, okay with this color, so I just selected these 2 points and changed their color. Right now when you go to that 0, no, it's not so obvious because I need something down here. So again, I would like to select this point and making sure it's, let's say, orange, and the point here as well. I'm just going to change it so it's so obvious. See, it's hard to see, but if you see here, you will understand. When I press play, see how this one goes up, this one also goes up, down, up. See the difference? Okay, you got that. It is moving. But now let's make this even more interesting. Let's double click on this one, go to that physics again, and this time give it a motor. Okay, enable the motor. This is the motor speed, and the torque is the strength, the pulling strength of the motor, or the working strength of the motor. Always means torque. So let's press OK and then play. This is really cool, but not enough frames here, so let's put it to 1000 so that we can see the whole thing. Go back to 0 and have a look. This is really cool, right? Awesome. Very, very interesting. The wheel rotates perfectly. But let's say if you put it to slow also, I think I will put it to slow. In this case, torque is not that important. We'll talk about that in a while, but for now, I'm just trying to put this to at least 20 and then see how it goes. Now it rotates slowly. It's really interesting. Okay, cool. I think I want more. So I'll just put it to 30 and then see what happens. Alright, now the circle will rotate a bit more faster and the balls should fall down like this over time. And that speed is not enough. So you get it. If I increase more, I would like to increase more until I reach to a point where all these balls rotates all the time. I mean, it falls down all the time because the bigger circle is rotating. And now, yeah, see, I have to increase it a bit more. You got the point. I'm not going to spend time doing that. Now, just double click on that main circle again. Make sure that it is a non-moving object again. And now it's like this. Let's go back to that 0, and now it's going to work like this. That's awesome. So next thing that you're going to do is create a new layer at the top inside that physics group and create a box, but zoom in, start from here, click drag and create something like this. Now see, the pivot point is right here. So if I enable the motor, it's going to rotate this one is going to get rotated around it. So now if I just play, it will just going to fall down. So that let's enable that pivot on origin. Now it's going to react only for the gravity. It doesn't have a motor. So when I press apply and when I press play, okay, seems like I didn't apply it properly. This one should be enabled and apply. Okay, now see, it's just going to fall down, and also it's getting stuck here, so that's a problem. So go back to that 0 and select these 2 points and just move them down so that it won't get stuck or anything. See, now it just pushes the ball a bit, it hits that ball and bounces a little bit. Really cool, but right now it doesn't have the strength to push the balls, so we have to give a motor. So go to physics and enable motor and apply, and while you're on 0, all right, the motor speed is too fast. So let's put this to, let's say, 30 and then apply. Go to 0 and now see, it's not working because see, the speed didn't work. So I'll make sure I do this while I'm at 0. So 30 and then apply. See, now it's super slow. Okay, all of a sudden again it became faster because now I have animated the motor speed. See, here it's 0, here it's how much? Here it's increasing to 150. So now you just have to confirm that you delete all of these keyframes, right? While you're on 0, see, I just delete all of those keyframes, and now I'll also confirm again that it is 30. Yeah, now let me press play and it is going to be slow. That's fine. Now we can clearly see the balls falling down, and this is really interesting. Now if you have lots of balls, the motor strength will reduce. It won't have strength to push a bigger, heavier shape. In that case, you will have to increase that torque. The strength of that will increase. Okay, here's the second one. So here I just have created some individual circles and I have made sure that they are on a physics group, and most importantly for all of these circles I have enabled one important settings, that is start asleep. Now this means it is not going to react to any physics unless a different object touches this. That's what this means. So let's say this object, this one, okay. For this I'm going to say start asleep switched off. Now if you play it, is if it touches this circle, this circle, this one, all of these are going to fall down. Let's press play and see. See, whichever the circle that it touches, they are going to react, and see it didn't touch this one, therefore it's not going to fall down. Alright, so this is cool, right? So what I'm going to do something else with this. So that is that initial direction, but before that I'm just going to put this to start asleep, and maybe we can create two more circles. So no, I will create only one circle, just one different color circle at the top. So just double click on that circle and go to physics and make sure the initial direction is currently switched off. It is at 0. Okay, here the speed is at 0. This is not the speed. Okay, that's the angle. So when you click drag, you can do this or do that. So let's say you want it to, when I press play, maybe I want it to, get some speed in the top direction. So you put that direction and give that speed to a very low number like 5 and then press OK. Now once we press play, alright, so as you can see it is flying on that direction which I gave, and this is exactly what will happen. Very cool, very interesting. So if you want a bigger speed, like if you give to 10 or something, I think now this ball will hit this, that's all, no? So when we press play, it didn't even hit it because it's that quicker. See, very interesting. It's jumping for a very long distance. So if you want to reduce that, you know what to do. Go to physics and then make sure to reduce that initial speed. So if you have high density, that means the objects get heavier, and also because it's heavy, it can fall faster, also harder to push because another object can't push it because it's heavier than another object if you set it that way. And lower means it is going to be light, also falls slower, and it is easier to push. So let's experiment this and see how it goes. On this example you can see it clearly. So there are two groups. So on the first group we have these two blue, on the other one we have this magenta. So this circle, okay, there are two circles now. The circle, the blue circle, it has the density of 1. The other one has 20. So this is much heavier. So the magenta circle is much heavier. Now you can clearly see the difference. So now when I press play, as you can see, right, you can clearly see that it doesn't affect the falling. So keep in mind, for falling, the density doesn't get affected. It is when it interacts with a different object that has physics. In this case, the magenta color hits harder because it's a heavy, stronger object. Now keep in mind the density works much more realistically in other softwares, especially the plugin called in Newton. But in Moho, they are just introducing physics properly and they are just improving step by step. So in the upcoming versions of the Moho, they will definitely improve on all of this. But for now, keep in mind physics has a bit more limitation to it. But anyway, you got the idea. The more it falls down, the more quicker these two falls rather than the blue ones, because for the blue ones we have not increased the density much. So I have set up these two for you. So when I play, okay, the circle just falls, right? And if I increase this to 1,000, you will see it just falls. It falls down. Okay, now let's talk about friction. So to do this, I will have to duplicate another group. So I'll select this group and duplicate, and also change the colors. So for this group circle, I have set it to green. Now when we press play, nothing's going to happen. They are going to stay exactly on top of each other unless we change the settings of the friction. Alright, so if you give the higher value, higher friction, the object slows down and stops because it has more friction. So it's like more friction. Think of it's like, let's say it's not a shiny smooth surface, instead it is a very rough surface. So that's why the object slows down, because when a surface is very rough, a circle won't roll off very quickly. It's not slippery, but low friction is more slippery. The objects keep sliding like on ice. Now for the green one, I would like to add more friction. So let's go to not more friction, I would like to reduce friction so that it is a lot faster. So as you can see now it is set to zero point 0.3. I'm just going to put it to like 0.1 and press OK and see the difference. Now as you can see initially it is much faster. Right, and then I think the other one is taking off for some reason. So I just set this value to point, right? 0.001. Okay. Now I have added more friction. I wish they have, made this between 1 and 10 so that we don't have to go between point numbers to see the real change. But anyway, lower it even more down than that point 1. This is 0.001. Okay, that means now when I press play, you can clearly see that it has way too much friction and therefore it falls down very quickly than the other one. Now to talk about the springiness, I'm just going to do it on the purple circle. Yeah, now while we are here, let's increase this. So for the springiness maximum that you can go is just 1, even though it allows you to give 6. 6 won't work, just give let's say 1. Okay, 1 will be too much, but it's okay. Now when we press play, you can see it has bounce, so much of bounciness like springiness, and that's exactly what happens. But let's say I would like to reduce this a lot, by a lot, then go for that physics tab. So the default for this is the purple one, right? This is the purple one. Okay, so the default one will be zero point 0.5. So this is how the bounciness by default it has, but you can give like 0.6 or something and then apply. Now when you play, it doesn't bounce much. So it gives us a little bit of a real different result, and as you can see the it's bouncing a little bit higher than the green one because of that little bit increase of the bounce. So now I gave 0.8 to show you this bit more clearly. Now it is bouncing more because it has 0.8. So now let's talk about the force field. So now if I press play, this is how it happens. It falls down. Now you can activate a force field around this box and you can give it a direction. So you just have to double click and go to physics, enable force field, and also make sure that it's a non-moving object so that it won't move. And now it won't fall down. Now here force field is in the upward direction. Now when you put this in the any direction, it's like a wind tunnel. So let it function works as a wind tunnel where lots of wind will blow upwards, and even while this tries to fall down, it won't fall down because of powerful wind. The wind speed, or you can say magnitude, you can increase it to increase that strength of that. Okay, yeah, now while that's enabled, here it's 1. Now press OK, and now as you can see it just while reaches here, nothing's happened because sometimes it will get rotate a bit. Right now it's not getting rotated. Anyway, that power, the strength is not enough, so let's go ahead and increase that strength this time. So I would like to put it to like 20 and then see how it goes. And I have played. Now as you can see that force field is pushing it up, but we don't have enough of frames to see this in live, so I'll just put it to like 1000, and now you can clearly see that it pushes it up. Now of course you can hide this force field, you can make it not visible, so only that will be visible now. So also I would like to increase this to let's say 100, and now I'm just playing this again. As you can see now it don't go more into the shape, instead it just bounces off straight away there. Now this is not much. Now I will connect now I'll connect bones to shapes, and I'll show you what we can do with the force field in that. Alright, so I have created another example, you can see. So see what happens. There is this physics group. Inside the physics group there is the bone group, and in that physics group down here we have this force field, and all of these are a single layer. I have connected them with the color binding. Okay, so they are all, these bones are connected to each of these with not point binding. You can say, yeah, it's point binding, or you can even say color binding because we are binding it with different colors, different points we are selecting. Anyway, now when I press play, this is what happens. Yeah, one more thing, you have to make sure that you have enabled bone strength. Maybe a little bit is fine, but keep in mind the bone strength should be enabled in order for this to work. If it's at zero, it's not going to work. So enable that bone strength, and now you can see it's kind of like a chain now. See, very interesting. And if you want to increase more of this bounce, you can of course increase that force field strength, magnitude strength. So I just also reduced the visibility of this layer. I just disabled it. Now when we press play, we have the same force field, but it's not visible at all. See, this is how it works.